Oro. The joint forces in Kotido district have recovered 22 animals that Karamojong rustlers stole from Agago district. Colonel Wilberforce Nkuma, the 405th Brigade commander of Kotido, said the recovery of the animals was part of the efforts in the ongoing cordon and search operations. He said the animals were being kept in Kamuru sub-county. Leonard Ojok, the LC5 chairperson Agago of Kotido Paul Komol, witnessed the handover of the recovered animals to Agago district authorities on Monday in Kotido. Ojok appealed to the security personnel to continue with their operations. Komol appealed to the leadership of Agago to continue perusing peace dialogue. He said not every Karamojong was a criminal, adding that peace and harmony were key to development. Last week, the Joint Security Forces arrested 313 Karamojong youth suspected to have been raiding the neighboring districts, including Agago. In foreign news, 3 people have died and scores injured after a 6-story building collapsed in Kiambu in central Kenya. Rescue efforts are underway and emergency workers have managed to pull a child from the rubble. Several others have also been rescued, but sadly, some are feared to have succumbed to their injuries. Kiambu County Governor Kimani Wamatangi said building collapses in Kenya have in the past been blamed on poor structure design or sloppy construction. The cause of these collapses is unclear, but the building was under construction when it came down. Eyewitness said it fell onto an adjacent building. Somalia has confirmed the Turkish drones have joined an ongoing military offensive against the Al-Qaeda-allied Al-Shabaab militants. Somalia's Interior Minister Ahmad Mualim Fiki told privately owned Universal Somali TV that the Turkish-owned surveillance and combat drones provided air support for the Somali army. In recent weeks, the Somali government forces and armed clans in central Hiran and Galgaduud regions have dislodged Al-Shabaab from some areas. The state TV reported that the army had expanded the offensive against Al-Shabaab in central Somalia to parts of the southern western Gendo region, where the militants hold some territory. Turkey is among the countries that have been supporting the Somali government. And a group of German residents are suing their government over dangerously high air pollution levels. They claim their right to breathe clean and healthy air is being violated and that government is failing to protect their health. Like many countries, Germany's air pollution levels often far exceeds World Health Organization limits. Globally, air pollution is associated with 7 million premature deaths a year. It is the first time individuals in Germany have taken such action, citing human rights legislation. And out in the news, the main points once again. Ebola cases have accumulated to 36. About 4.8 billion shillings have been collected in ongoing operations against traffic penalty defaulters. Joint security forces in Kotido district have recovered 22 animals stolen by Karamojong rustlers from Agago district. 3 people have died and scores injured after a 6-story building collapsed in central Kenya. And a group of German residents are suing their government over dangerously high air pollution levels. UBC Radio News. Back to Alex for the continuation of tonight's news hour.
Thank you, Stephen. And we shall take a break. And when we return, more stories in News Hour.
This is Independent Sound. UBC has 11 sister radio stations spread throughout the country to educate, inform, and entertain. Tune in to UBC Radio FM 98, your national radio station, Magic 100, where sports and music is our life. 87.5 Star FM in Uganda, 97.4 UBC West covering Western Uganda, 102 Mega FM in Gulu, 97 FM Butebo Radio in Eastern Uganda, 107.0 Mududi FM, 100.5 Nge FM in Kasese, 98.0 West Nile FM in Arua, Total Ray Radio FM 90 in Karamoja, and 93.0 Voice of Mundbujo. Now you covered in your local language. UBC Radios, inspiring Uganda.
In case you have just joined, this is News Hour. My name is Alex Wandeva. Now to our first story. The government has embarked on the construction of the regional cancer centers across the country to decongest Uganda Cancer Institute. The Prime Minister Robin Nabbanja said that the construction works of some regional cancer centers has already started. Anna Kajumba has more in this report.
According to Uganda Cancer Institute, all types of cancers are on the increase and death from cancer is on the rise. Dr. Nolebo Mugisha, an oncologist at Uganda Cancer Institute, says the institute receives between 15 to 30 new cancer patients per day, thus causing a lot of congestion at the institute. It's upon this background that government has started setting up regional cancer centers across the country. The Prime Minister Robin Nabbanja says the regional cancer centers will also help in decentralizing cancer care.
With the increasing burden of cancer in the country, the government of Uganda has embarked on the development of regional cancer centers. This is in line with the National Development Plan 3 and the National Health Policy, Health Sector Development Plan, and the Uganda Cancer Institute Strategic Plan 2022-2026. According to the Uganda Cancer Institute Strategic Plan, 4 regional cancer centers in the western, eastern, northern, western regions are to be set up, equipped, and operationalized by the end of the year 2025-2026 financial year.
Nabbanja gives an update on the construction of regional cancer centers across the country.
Northern Uganda Regional Cancer Institute, Muguru. The project for the regional cancer in Muguru was approved by Parliament in 2020 as a TACE project. The construction work is nearing completion. Equipment have been shipped and are on site, awaiting installation. The site handover is expected by the end of the year 2022 and official commissioning within the year 2023. The Eastern Uganda Regional Cancer Center, Mbale. The feasibility studies for the realization of this project have been completed and the concept was submitted to the Development Committee, Ministry of Finance. In the meantime, the Uganda Cancer Institute has commenced work on startup structures in order to have a scheduled service while awaiting a comprehensive project that will accommodate all the cancer services. In Western Uganda, Regional Cancer Center, Mbarara, the final report of the feasibility studies for Western Uganda Regional Cancer Center in Mbarara has been completed and submitted together with the concept to the Development Committee of Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development for approval and financing. In the meantime, there is a very active cancer care services, which is second only to the services in Kampala, with over 3,000 patients attended to in the last financial year. This has been achieved using the available infrastructure, equipment, and human resource. Northwestern Uganda Regional Cancer Center in Arua. The feasibility studies for Northwestern Uganda Cancer Center in Arua has been developed and submitted to the Development Committee, Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, awaiting approval and financing. In the meantime, breast cancer prevention and early detection services commenced in Arua using the available infrastructure, equipment, and human resource.
The Prime Minister has, however, advised Ugandans to always go for regular cancer checkups to know their status. Reporting for NewsHour, I'm Anna Kajumba.
Thank you, Anna. Now, Forum for Democratic Change has called for vigilance among the public in the fight against Ebola in the country. Addressing journalists at the party headquarters in Najana Nkumbi, the party's spokesperson Ibrahim Semujunganda said it is everyone's responsibility to guard against the spread of the disease. Anetin Namoviru has the details.
Forum for Democratic Change spokesperson Sam Uganda has sympathized with the 21 families that have lost their beloved ones to Ebola and asked the population to be extra vigilant.
By this morning or by yesterday, the 34 cases were still reported. We stand with the health workers who are usually at the front line risking their own lives in trying to rescue the others. We ask the population to be vigilant since the symptoms have been revealed to us by the medical workers to include high body temperature, fatigue, chest pain, diarrhea, vomiting, yellowing of the eyes, and bleeding. Let us report suspected Ebola patient but also treat them humanly.
Also cautioned the government to ensure that the current Ebola outbreak does not threaten the public.
Victims of this outbreak must be treated as human beings. That is our call to government and to those who are involved. It is okay for the military to help with the response, trying to trace the suspected cases and people who have contacted those that have Ebola. But please don't go carrying guns as if you're going to hunt down criminals.
Meanwhile, the Uganda National Children Authority has asked school authorities to take extra care on protecting school children against Ebola. The authority executive director, Martin Kiza, says school administrators should provide enough sanitary facilities to protect children from the virus. He also urged parents to avoid taking their children to congested public places, avoid unnecessary physical contact, and also be on high alert to report any suspected cases to the local authorities.
Make sure children are served with food that is warm enough, not cold stuff. Ensure that children are given clean, boiled drinking water, not accessing any water anywhere from any source. Ensuring that children are not sent to congested places like trading centers, markets, shops, and other social gatherings, and necessarily children and you and the adults should avoid these. These are measures that would mitigate the spread and infection of people with Ebola.
Cumulative Ebola cases stand at 34, 16 of which are laboratory confirmed, while 18 are probable. Similarly, of the 21 deaths, 4 are confirmed, while 17 are probable. For ABC News Hour, Yem Annette Namobiru.
Meanwhile, the public has been tasked to continue embracing preventive measures as cases of Ebola continue to rise. Minister of Health spokesperson Aineviona Emmanuel says that the cases are currently 36, both confirmed and probable. He says that the ministry is also working out modalities to get vaccines. We have a statement.
The latest situation reports indicate that we have cumulative 36 cases of Ebola, of which 18 are confirmed and 18 are probable. The deaths stand at 23. Deaths 5 confirmed and 18 probable. In the last 24 hours, we registered two new cases and 2 new deaths. Okay. The positive case was returned immediately of a woman who is part of the earlier affected community. The others tested negative, but this is due to fear. We are working on ensuring that we cancel the affected and also ensure that they have all the necessary security measures to ensure that there are no escapes from the treatment unit. So there is no need. There's no need for alarm. The situation is under control at Mubende Regional Referral Hospital. We have a lot of measures, and we expect the minister will be communicating on that, on vaccines. We expect to have vaccines later, and this is after the meeting we shall have with the WHO and other partners. But now we are focusing on prevention, sensitizing the public to know how to avoid the spread of the infection, and also ensure that those ones who report at hospital and are confirmed are given all the necessary supportive treatment to save their lives. The affected districts are Mubende, Chegegwa, and Kasanda. Those are the places where we have had confirmed cases. Kampala, we haven't registered any cases yet, and we are waiting for results of the suspected case in Kansanga.
Emmanuel Aineviona, the public relations officer of the Ministry of Health, and he has been speaking in as far as the Ebola virus is concerned. On the other hand, individuals have been advised to seek booster doses of the tetanus jab. Experts say that the vaccines given in infancy do not offer permanent immunity against the disease, whose mortality rate is 100% without treatment. Sarah Natolo has the details.
Dr. Alan Muluta, the Commissioner of Public Health Emergencies at the Ministry of Health, says many Ugandans are unaware of the correct schedule for tetanus vaccination and wrongly believe that the jab is given once in a lifetime. According to the routine vaccination schedule under the Uganda National Expanded Program on Immunization UNEPI, a free tetanus vaccine is given in infancy at 6 weeks, 10 weeks, and 14 weeks, and to females aged 15 to 40 years to offer protection during childbirth. But Muluta says this should not be all, especially when the death rate is too high. He says all the people who contract tetanus end up in the intensive care unit, and a lot of people have not witnessed on the ward how disastrous the disease can be.
Vaccination against tetanus is quite low in the country for two main reasons. Number one is that a number of people are not aware about the vaccination schedule for tetanus. Number two is that the death rate of tetanus is so high that many people don't get to witness sick people, those who are sick with tetanus, because you never see them on the normal ward. They are always in the intensive care. It is difficult for people to be exposed to the sick people of tetanus disease, and that makes it difficult for the public to perceive tetanus as a danger.
UNEPI figures estimate that between 3,000 and 5,000 people get infected with tetanus each year in Uganda, and according to Dr. Helen Ayu, the acting deputy director of Mulago National Referral Hospital, the majority of these die partly because of how complicated the disease is to treat. Even with treatment, she says 50% of the sufferers will still die. The majority of the patients they get are children of about 7 years, and she explains that by that age, the vaccine given in infancy will have waned. She says this is the reason they are recommending that children get a booster dose at around 6 years of age and then embark on the 10-year schedule of boosters to guarantee lifelong protection.
Prevention has been concentrating on children when they are born, girls of childbearing age, 15 to 45 years of age, but there is no routine program for the other categories. The vaccine given to the women protects them and the newborn child, but you have to get a certain minimum for the child to be protected. So the recommended is 5 doses over a period of about 3 years. When a person is affected, of course, they end up here in hospital. It will be an adult or a child. So we get many children around the age of, let's say, after 7 years, because like you heard him say, the doses you get as an infant do not protect for life. They are supposed to be boosters.
Tetanus is acquired through infection of a cattle wound with spores of the bacterium Clostridium tetani, and most cases occur within 14 days of infection. Tetanus cannot be transmitted from person to person. Tetanus can be prevented through immunization with tetanus toxoid containing vaccines. Funizawa, Sarah, Natolo.
Thank you, Sarah. The Police Directorate of Traffic Police has warned VIPs who misuse their security detail while on the road that they risk being apprehended as the operation against errant drivers continues on the roads. The operation, dubbed Toa Fujo Barabarani, commenced last week, and according to Farida Nampima, the traffic police spokesperson, over 700 vehicles have been impounded.
The Police
Fahimu
Directorate
Mingo reports.
The Police Directorate impounded at least 733 vehicles over last week in an operation Toa Fujo Barabarani intending to fight impunity on the road. According to Farida Nampima, a total of 524 vehicles were impounded for installing illegal siren lights, 209 for driving carelessly, while 340 drivers received EPS tickets, 511 vehicles illegal lights removed, and 75 vehicles deregistered during the operation. 33 of the impounded are government vehicles, while 700 are private vehicles.
We had targeted operations that we're doing. And I told you these operations run at the peak hours of the day. So in the targeted operations, we had illegal lights. Those impounded for driving on the road with illegal lights were 524. And those who were arrested for driving careless on the roads were 209. So you see the number. 524 vehicles all had those illegal lights and sirens. And 209 were driving on the wrong side of the road. The action that we took. So far the operation has achieved the success. We are continuing with our operation. It has not stopped yet. It's going on so that we fight the impunity on our roads. If for 1 week we have a total number of 511 illegal lights removed from vehicles, that means the picture out there is disturbing.
Nampima said the operation, coordinated by Traffic Directorate, the Field Force Unit, and Military Police, focused on Kampala metropolitan areas of Kampala East, Kampala North, and Kampala South.
6 government vehicles were impounded in those 5 days. 233 private vehicles were impounded in that area, making a total of 239 vehicles impounded in Kampala East. For Kampala North, 26 government vehicles were impounded. 285 private vehicles were impounded, making a total of 311 vehicles impounded in Kampala North. For Kampala South, 1 government vehicle was impounded and 182 private vehicles, making a total of 183. So the total number of vehicles impounded were 33 government vehicles, 700 private vehicles, making a total of 733 vehicles impounded on the road, driving carelessly and using illegal lights and sirens on the road.
Meanwhile, police health services have crafted a comprehensive emergency preparedness plan for all police stations, particularly in Wamala region, that comprises areas of Mubende where Ebola outbreak was confirmed. According to Fred Enanga, officers should continue with the observation of the COVID-19 standard operative procedures.
That is why we gave instructions on decongesting the police cells and the number of cases registered at the station. We've instructed officers, especially in these areas with cases, Mubende, Chegegwa, Kasanda, to decongest the stations as much as possible. We still have the situation as normal in the many other stations and police posts. We have about 1,600 police stations and police posts countrywide.
Enanga has also confirmed the arrest of Kabuye Darren, also known as Mukisa Henry, who has been on police's wanted list for participating in aggravated robbery. Enanga says Kabuye has a group of hardcore deputies who are still at large and confirmed the same group was behind an attack of the Giso of Chebando Kasule Ben.
So we are happy that we finally got this Darren Kabuye, who has been on our wanted list, and we found him with with an assortment of metallic bars, several stolen properties, heavy jackets. And this shows that our level of determination as the joint security agencies and the Kampala Metropolitan Police to rid the suburbs of Kampala with such actors of violence.
Police has also urged fuel station owners to make use of cameras to tighten security at their stations. Fahim Muyingo reporting for News Hour.
Thank you, Fahim. And you are still listening to News Hour from UBC Radio here in Kampala. This is Alex Wandeva, and my producer is Henry Vaguma. One person has died while two others are nursing critical injuries sustained during a robbery at Bukedea Petrol City Station. A police constable in Moyo district shot a colleague dead before turning the gun on him, while residents of Lira have decried the excessive noise pollution in the city. Details of this upcountry in News Roundup by Rachel Takali.
In upcountry stories, police indicate that attackers first snatched a gun from a security guard deployed at Bukedea Petrol Police Station before committing robbery. Oscar Greg Ageka, the East Choga Regional Police spokesperson, says the assailants shot at 3 workers from whom they took mobile phones and an unspecified amount of money. Ageka has identified the victims of the shooting as Ivan Masete, the security guard at the station, Tom, a pump attendant, and Dan Esipan, the manager of the station. 2 of them are admitted at Mbale Regional Referral Hospital with serious injuries.
As the Uganda Police Force, we immediately responded to the incident, took the injured persons to Keja Health Center, but because of the nature of their injuries, they were further referred to Mbale Regional Referral Hospital. Unfortunately, the manager of the station passed on his way to the hospital. We therefore ask and seek for calm as investigations are underway. My office, that is the office of the Public Relations Officer, is Choga, shall give and provide status updates of this matter as investigations and inquiries into the matter have commenced.
According to Ageka, the police have arrested a soldier, Lawrence Otingole, of the 41st Battalion in Moroto. He adds that the assailants abandoned the gun used in the aggravated robbery. From Kotido, it is alleged that 27-year-old Constable Kopi Joel Bobby, attached to the Field Force unit, first shot Corporal Geoffrey Ogwal, 47, after quarrelling at a drinking place in Vura Village, Moyo Town Council. The incident happened at 3 p.m. in Moyo Sub-County Police Barracks. Ignatius Tragudu, the Northwest Nile Region Police spokesperson, explains.
It happened on the 25th September 2022 at around 1500 hours in Moyo Sub-County Police Barracks, where Kopi Joel Bobby, attached to Moyo FFU base, shot dead his colleague, Corporal Ogwal Geoffrey, also a police officer attached to Moyo CPS. According to the findings, the root cause of all this problem occurs because of excessive drink of alcohol.
According to Dragudu, the 2 constables left their duty station without notifying their supervisors.
It is not in order for an officer to consume alcohol while on duty. Well-trained police officer must respect the right of life. Taking away your colleague's life through gunfire is a serious crime. And he himself also committing suicide by shooting himself. Those are all capital offense, and we are not happy of it.
And finally, from northern Uganda, Rebecca Hope Akello, a mobile money agent along Kobote Avenue in Lira City, attributes the worsening noise pollution in the area to leaders who do not enforce the law.
Most of the areas, you also know, these guys who do the banning of songs, those areas, mostly accident is very common because you cannot know that there is a vehicle coming behind over what is coming. Like if they are passing around the city, like the other time Babe was advertising about the FOFA drug. This thing can even shock someone who is sick. To me, I can say their advert is not bad, but at least they make it moderate, which cannot affect other people.
Andre Rach, a resident of Ovamuka, Lira City in West Division, says bars in the area play music to unbearable levels, especially at night.
The sound in the cities are so irritating to the extent that anyone can be knocked on the way because you will not be knowing a sound is coming from where and why. There are sounds that are always from those ones who are burning the CDs, and then there are those ones that they call themselves the road drive. actually, it is not bad to do that because they also earn living out of. There are other grinding mills that are situated in residential areas. Why don't the city council's authority come with the ordinance, then it regulates such things? In order they get a gazetted place, they take these people to those places.
Now, Leonard Otika, the Lira City Environment Officer, says the plan to sensitize city leaders and business owners who are operating in residential areas before taking action against them. National environment regulations limit noise levels in residential areas to 65 decibels during the day and 45 decibels at night. It also stipulates that noise resulting from any act such as yelling, laughing, clapping, shouting, pounding, whistling, and singing, which is clearly audible in the neighborhood for more than 2 minutes, is illegal. Only under special circumstances do the National Environment Management Authority and local councils permit the emission of noise for purposes of creating public awareness, such as health matters, religious assembly, political debate, or public hearings. However, NEMA can reasonably issue noise emission permits with the understanding that it will not bring about public nuisance. Noise from the fire brigade, bullion vans, and ambulances in case of emergency to save a life is permitted by the law. For UBC News Hour, I am Rachel Takani.
Thank you, Rachel. And from the foreign scene, we have news from Ethiopia's Tigray region, where an AD truck has been hit by debris, and Russia, where a gunman has killed at least 13 people at a school. Details of these stories and many more in this foreign news roundup by Kathy Ishimwe.
Thank you, and in our foreign news, in Ethiopia, debris from a drone strike in Ethiopia's Tigray region hit a lorry carrying humanitarian aid and injured the driver on Sunday, a spokesman of the World Food Programme has told the Reuters news agency. The spokesperson is quoted as saying lying debris from the strike injured a driver contracted by WFP and caused minor damage to a WFP fleet truck. The lorry was delivering food to internally displaced people in Tigray. A spokesman for the rebel TPLF, Getachew Reda, termed the incident an outrageous crime. Several previous airstrikes have been reported by the Tigray rebels since fresh confrontations erupted on 24th August, which have not been acknowledged by the federal authorities. In Tunisia, anti-government demonstrations have taken place in several suburbs of the Tunisian capital, Tunis. Marchers criticized the administration of President Kais Saied for failing to tackle inflation and rising prices for staple goods. Videos on social media from the Dor-Hita district show supermarket customers scuffling over packets of sugar. In one district on the outskirts of Tunis, riot police fired tear gas to disperse protesters who had blocked roads and were throwing stones at the officers. The demonstrators were angry at the suicide of a local man who had allegedly been harassed by police for selling fruit without permission. Hague in Netherlands, the trial of a former senior rebel commander in the Central African Republic has started before the International Criminal Court. Mohammed Zahid Abdel Khan pleaded not guilty to charges of war crimes and crimes against humanity. He is accused of being in charge of a police compound in the capital, Bangui, in 2013, where supporters of the deposed President Francois were brutally tortured. The prosecutor will rely on the evidence of 43 witnesses in the trial, which is expected to last several months. Said's defense team dispute the reliability of the evidence against him. In Russia, a gunman has opened fire at a school in central Russia, killing at least 13 people and injuring 21, Russian officials say. Victims include 7 children at the school of about 1,000 pupils in the city of Izhevsky. The gunman killed himself at the scene. He was a former pupil of the school. Russian media have posted videos which appear to show panic inside the building where the shooting took place. some footage shows blood on a classroom floor and a bullet hole in a window with children crouching down underneath desks. 7 children and 6 adults were killed, including 2 security guards and 2 teachers, according to Russian officials. Staff and pupils have been evacuated from the school buildings. Thank you. That's all we had for you in our foreign news. Reporting for NewsHour, I am Ishimwe Kafi.
Thank you, Kase, and expect sunny weather conditions for tomorrow morning and afternoon. And Kathy will stay around to give us another details in as far as the weather forecast for tomorrow is concerned.
Thank you. And in our weather forecast for tomorrow, 27th September 2022. Starting with the Eastern Lake Victoria Basin in Tororo, Busia, Bujiri, Maige, Iganga, Jinja, and Namaingo. We shall have isolated showers in the morning and sunny intervals in the afternoon, with temperatures ranging from 25 degrees to 29 degrees Celsius. Central Lake Victoria Basin in Uyukwe, Kayunga, Mukono, Kampala, Entebbe, Wakiso, Mpigi, Buvuma, and Kalangala. We shall have isolated showers in the morning and in the afternoon, with temperatures ranging from 26 degrees to 28 degrees Celsius. Western parts of Central in Butambala, Gomba, Mitiana, Mubende, Chiboga, and Chankwanzi. We shall have sunny intervals in the morning, isolated showers in the afternoon, with temperatures ranging from 26 degrees to 28 degrees Celsius. Eastern parts of Central in Luero, Nakaseke, and Nakasongola. We shall have sunny intervals in the morning and isolated showers in the afternoon, with temperatures ranging from 27 degrees to 29 degrees Celsius. Northern Rwenzori in Bundibujo, Kabarole, Ntoroko, Chenjojo, Kamwenge, and Chegegwa. We shall have sunny intervals in the morning and isolated showers in the afternoon, with temperatures ranging from 26 degrees to 28 degrees Celsius. Southern Rwenzori in Kasese and Bwera. We shall have sunny intervals in the morning and isolated thunder showers in the afternoon, with temperatures ranging from 27 degrees to 29 degrees Celsius. In Chigezi Highlands, in Chisoro, Kabale, Rukunjiri, and Kanungu, we shall have sunny intervals in the morning and isolated showers in the afternoon, with temperatures ranging from 21 degrees to 24 degrees Celsius. Southwestern in Tungamo, Isinjiro, Ibanda, Mbarara, Chiruhura, Mushenyi, Rubirizi, Shema, Buheju, and Mitoma. We shall have sunny intervals in the morning and isolated showers in the afternoon, with temperatures ranging from 24 degrees to 27 degrees Celsius. Central Northern in Adjumani, Amur, Noya, Gulu, Kitgum, Pader, Agago, and Lamu. We shall have sunny intervals in the morning and in the afternoon, with temperatures ranging from 27 degrees to 30 degrees Celsius. Thank you. That's all we had for you in our weather forecast for tomorrow. I am Ishimwe Kafi.
Thank you, Kase. And in sports news, Ugandan soccer fans and lovers are heading for very exciting moments in days to come as the Uganda National Football League kicks off this Friday. This will be followed with the World Cup Soccer Championships. Henry Baguma engaged the UBC sports commentator Peter Otai to talk about the entire football cycle.
We have very many football competitions going on in the country, and it should be noted that football in this country is actually governed by FUFA, that is the Federation of Uganda Football Associations. They're the ones given the mandate to govern and plan for football in this country. Now, they came up with a calendar that has actually had a lot of activities going on in that is in Uganda. Currently, you all know that the number one biggest football competition right now is the Uganda Premier League. That is the apex of club football here in Uganda. The Uganda, that is the Premier League. It will be kicking off this weekend. That's on Friday. The new season gets underway on Friday. And we expect about 15 clubs to take part in this year's edition. There's supposed to be 16, but one of the teams called Chetume actually failed to comply with the rules that had been put by FUFA, so they were thrown out. So we shall have 15 clubs competing. For the very first time this year around, we shall have a club coming from Lira. That is a club in the names of Black's Power. Black's Power comes all the way from Lira, so they become among the first clubs.
The story could be too long,
Yes.
but what I wanted to know, what sort of sports teams? I mean, I don't know the term to put, but we have the Premier League, competition here.
So it was just basically a brief of what I was telling you. But apart from the Uganda Premier League, the second biggest event right now that has drawn a lot of attention is the FUFA Drum. The FUFA Drum is a competition that has the regions play against each other. So we have Teso, we have Toro, we have Lango, we have Acholi, you have Bugisu. All these provinces that make up FUFA actually come up and play against each other. Right now, we are in the quarter-final stage of that one. There is also the FUFA Big League. The Big League is the second tier of Uganda football, the second, because it's from the Big League that you promoted to the Premier League. Now, the Big League has clubs from across the Uganda playing to compete, to fight, to qualify for the Uganda Premier League. There is also what we call the Masaza. Now, the Masaza is basically a competition for Buganda Kingdom.
Cultural kind of competition.
Yes, cultural. So Masaza is basically county. That is county games. The Baganda have about two versions. There is the Masaza for the county, and there is the Bika. Bika are the clan game. So there is Masaza for county and Bika for the clans over there. On top of that, we also have the different regions or regional. We call them regional leagues. Like let's say northeastern. That's the region. So they have clubs playing within the regions to qualify to play in the big league. Case in point is northern region have their own clubs competing to play in the big league. So that's the regionals also under. Then you have the super mini. All that takes place in the district level. So when you talk about football in this country, there is a lot going on, including, by the way, there is the Women's Football League, if you didn't know. Yes, there is the Women's Football League that got underway 2 weeks ago. The Women's Football League divided into two. There is the Elite and there is the Super. The Super League is the first, then Elite is the
Thank you very much for that. But also recently, I saw on TV, UBC also engaged the UPDF. And what arrangement was this?
Basically, that was a friendly game. UBC right now is trying to open up a football club. We call it UBCFC. UBCFC. We've played against the first division in Kachiri. We lost that one by 3-1. But we have had a lot of matches going on perfectly well. So I believe we'll get there.
Now, let's look at we used to have the Eastern Central Africa Senior Soccer Challenge Cup. Is it still existing?
Yes, Sekafa is existing, but unfortunately this year round, it may not take place. There is the one you've talked about is Senior Challenge, but also there is what they call the Kagame Cup. Now, the Kagame Cup was postponed. It was cancelled this year. It won't take part because of the number of international engagements, so the clubs can't play. That's for Sekafa Kagame Cup. They can't play. But the Senior Challenge Cup you talked about was changed. The format was changed to make it an under-23 competition. So it's basically the Sekafa Senior Challenge under-23 tournament right now. It's no longer the senior, how it used to be. It's an under-23.
UBC sports commentator Peter Otai, and he has been speaking to Henry Waguma in that interview. And on that note, we come to the end of this edition of News Hour. On behalf of the entire team here at UBC Radio Newsroom, including my producer Henry Waguma, plus our sound technician Hilary Katureve. This is Alex Wandeva, and News Hour returns tomorrow.
Join us again for News Hour, broadcasting on weekdays, 8 p.m. on the UBC Radio Network. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
This is The Link.
bringing you information on important topics that affect your daily life. Only on UBC Radio.